Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 6 for this season, otherwise entitled The Icicle Cometh, and I cannot believe we're already up to Episode 6. This is pretty damn insane. But yeah, before we get into anything else, let's actually watch that trailer.
Hello?
Katie?
Dad, how are you still alive?
I quarantined myself for everyone's safety.
You're lying to us.
What did you do to me?
You gotta think about this like a CSI. This guy's story doesn't add up.
He's the only family I have left.
The Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on the CW.
But obviously last episode, the main things to take from that are obviously the Caitlin side story, or where we had Ralph, Caitlin, Sherlock, and Cisco investigating some stuff around Caitlin's father and the clues that had been left, and essentially they found more clues which led them to different things, and essentially led Cisco to launching tapping into one of the satellites that DeVoe had launched last year. So once again, another tie to the Enlightenment stuff from the end of last season, which is great to see, because obviously the Starlab satellite crashed, so they can't tap into that, and essentially they're going to use that to locate Caitlin's father. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes in this episode for them to find that out. I'm guessing it won't take too long, you'd have to think. And then obviously the other thing was between Iris and Nora, where they got over their little feud and stuff, and they're going to be doing some stuff in this episode, but we don't see any of that in the trailer. It's just in the promo images. I think that's going to be like basically like maybe a quarter of this episode. It's just them following some Cicada stuff, so nothing that big. But obviously before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we'll quickly go over the synopsis or description for this episode, as it does give us like a better idea as to what's going on, give us some context to some stuff in the trailer. But of course, before that, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this trailer. What gets you excited for this episode? What do you think some of the twists and turns of this episode might be? Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below any of your opinions on that. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like and to show your support for The Flash and this episode in general. Caitlin, Barry, and Cisco learn something new about Caitlin's father. Meanwhile, Iris and Sherlock follow a clue about Cicada. So we start off the trailer by seeing Caitlin, Barry, and Cisco rocking up at one of the Tannhauser sites. It does seem to be in like the Arctic somewhere, so I'm guessing they weren't expecting maybe to travel that far. But it is snowy, it's cold, it's windy, it just looks like a dreadful place to live. I don't mind the snow, but this is just a bit too extreme for me, and that's, you know, I'm in Australia, so I wouldn't mind seeing some snow. It gets pretty damn hot down here. But as you'd expect, the episode is called The Icicle Cometh, so it would feel weird if we're in like the Sahara Desert or somewhere in the Bahamas. You'd expect us to be going to somewhere cold and just overall just miserable. But obviously we meet Thomas Snow, who is of course Caitlin's father, so RIP Cicada is Caitlin's father theories that were going around there. I don't know why those were a thing, because Kyle Secor, who's playing Caitlin's father, was cast before the season even started going on TV, so I was surprised those theories even existed. But we can see him looking fairly normal here, like he's maybe looking a bit disheveled, but he has been in isolation, probably hasn't seen the sun in God knows how long, or Bieber knows how long, so yeah, he's looking fairly normal here. But we do find out that he's quarantined himself in this location, not just for him, but also for others' safety. So I guess the big question is, well, is that true, and why? Does he have like some sort of, you know, contagious disease? If that's the case, would he really be that, you know, like, oh, come in here, Caitlin, come in here, Caitlin's friends, let's hang out, and I might possibly infect you with whatever I have. So you'd have to think straight away, maybe there's some question marks there, because if he was quarantining himself, would he really just allow these people to continue on into his area? Like, fair enough, they broke in, but he's like basically welcoming them in after, you know, finding out they're there. So bit of a question mark there. We can see Thomas in this room here with like various DNA structures on monitors in the background. You would have to think whatever he was researching was to like rewrite DNA, or at least alter it, or maybe return it to how it used to be. Obviously, one of the big things in this episode is Caitlin's connection to him, because Caitlin's father knew about Caitlin having Killer Frost within her. So that's probably one of the most intriguing things about this episode. I can't wait to dive more into that. Whether it is this episode or an episode after, you'd have to think it's this episode, and we'll jump into why that might be later on in this video. But obviously that has to do with like DNA and rewriting it, so I'm really intrigued to see how all of that unfolds in this episode. But we do have Cisco saying, "You're lying to us." And this is most likely to Thomas, as we then see Caitlin roll up what is presumably her father's sleeve to reveal, well, a very icy arm, almost looking like a, well, Icicle. Now, she is outdoors in this scene, I'm pretty sure. Like, it looks like there's, like, trees that are, like, you know, it's in, like, autumn or fall or whatever you want to call it. That's what it looks like to me, at least. This could be a vibe or something, but it doesn't look like a vibe, but they might have just, like, not added the vibe, sort of, like, blue outlines and stuff to this scene yet, so that might be what's going on. It has happened in the past with, trailers. They'll show something in a trailer, and you're like, what the hell's going on there? And then in the actual episode, it's a vibe. So they have like the blue outline and stuff that a vibe usually has. So that could be what's going on here, because it just doesn't make sense to me why he would be outside when we were in the snow to begin with coming into this area. And then all of a sudden there's trees and stuff like that and it's sunny. So that seemed a bit weird to me. But in regards to Cisco saying that, I think Barry and Cisco are going to be very suspicious, like basically right from the beginning as soon as they get there, or at least, fairly early on, Barry and Cisco are going to be a bit suspicious. But Caitlin obviously is just going to be not as suspicious because it's her father. She's been missing him. He's been gone. She thought he was dead. So it's going to be a bit of a more emotional time for her, more than Barry and Cisco, who are going to be like logically thinking everything through. We do get a shot of Thomas's lab with some creatures in jars. I think we see like a frog or a lizard or something like that. Now I'm expecting some weird stuff in here just due to his research. He's probably taken various reptiles and various like test animals and stuff to test on, and yeah, I'm not looking forward to the most happier places down here in this lab. But we have Caitlin wanting to still trust her father, and I'm guessing like Barry's probably gonna have like a one-on-one conversation with Caitlin, saying like, yo, like something's up here, like something is not right here. We got to really think this through before we jump too deep into this. But obviously Caitlin still wants to trust her father, but she says that he is the only family that she has left, and I'm like, your mother? What's going on with you? If you're forgetting about your mum, Caitlin? And this makes me think, is Carla Tannhauser dead? Is Caitlin's mother dead? Is she going to be killed off in this episode? Will Thomas kill her possibly? What the hell is going on there? Now this could just be like out of context. Caitlin's saying this. Maybe she just doesn't count her mum in this conversation because her and her mum obviously don't get on too well. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously we saw Caitlin's mum in one episode. I think it was the Death of Vibe episode, episode number 3. But that's it. She's been mentioned a couple of times. Now, I think she's meant to appear in this episode, which would make sense. So maybe Thomas kills her, or maybe she just dies suspiciously. I have to wait and see. But the fact that Caitlin said that her father is the only family member she has left definitely made me raise an eyebrow. But we do see Caitlin, Cisco, and Ralph breaching in. Now, I'm guessing Cisco's powers have, like, stabled. Unless someone, like, comes up with a fix. Maybe Thomas. That would be pretty random if Thomas was able to fix, Cisco's issue. But I guess he is working on DNA and maybe some, like, healing stuff. So maybe he's able to heal Cisco. Who knows? But when those three breach in, Caitlin is dressed up in the exact same outfit, I'm 99.9% sure, as she was in the second last episode of last season. So episode 22 of season 4, and that was when she had like the gauntlets that sort of like replicated her Killer Frost abilities. So this was the episode when they like infiltrated Argus to try and stop DeVoe from getting like Fallout's abilities and stuff like that. So here is a clip of that if you don't remember.
I've got the charge. Breachling is go.
Nice.
5 more to go.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the outfit she's got on there. It looks like she has those glasses, the same jacket, pants. It's hard to tell because it's dark, but it does look like that in my opinion. But let me know in the comments section down below if you disagree. But we do see Barry and Nora as both Flash and XS all chilled up and wounded on the ground when Caitlin, Cisco, and Ralph come in. We can see Thomas here by this machine that we did see earlier on in the trailer, and he looks to be full on Icicle. His hair is full on white and looking like a glacier or something, like a White Walker. He is fully transformed at this point. Now I guess the big question is this his normal form? And the form that we see him in earlier on in the trailer is his disguise, because we do see Caitlin rolling up that sleeve, as I said earlier on. It reveals basically the icicle-y skin, if that's a correct term to use. So that could be his true form. Maybe that vibe or that vision Caitlin's getting is his true form, and like that's like a hint that he is like disguising himself. So I can't wait to see this, what he actually looks like up close, because this is pretty far away, but we still get a half decent look at what he looks like. But I guess the big thing is, like, what the hell is his plan? Like, that thing looks like a pod that one would stand in. Maybe it's for Caitlin, or maybe it's for him, maybe to go back to normal or something. Or maybe it's for a victim to go into. It's hard to tell, obviously, because we only get like 2 quick shots of it in the trailer. But we do have these like mirror things around this device, and these seem to be the things that cause Barry and Nora to like fly back and be like injured on the ground. They might produce some like really low temperature blasts or something. It's hard to tell just from the trailer, as everything goes by in, well, a flash. So there does seem to be like a flicker of green, like a light, like a beam or something when they get knocked back. You might be able to see it here. But it's hard to tell. But I guess the big question about this episode is whether Icicle is just for this episode, because I think Thomas Snow is going to officially become Icicle in this episode. But is it just going to be for this one? Like, it would seem weird to build up to this throughout the whole of this season that we've had so far with Caitlin, and then also the end of last season, and then be done with him in like 1 episode. Like, I can understand if the episode is dedicated to him, then you might feel that's like, you know, it's worthy. But I don't like it when they do that. Like, I like at least maybe a short arc, like 2 to 3 episodes. We're definitely not going to get that, at least in a row, with this character. So the only thing that could possibly happen is that he's introduced in this episode. We get like an introductory episode, but he gets away. Team Flash is not able to stop him, and it's sort of like there might be something big that happens with Caitlin in this episode, which would be pretty interesting. Maybe she possibly gets her Killer Frost stuff back, which would be pretty cool. But I can't see Icicle being taken down this episode. I think it'd be a bit lame. I'd like to see him show up again in the back half of this season, maybe in a possible group that was teased in a scene that we will do a video on in about 3 or 4 hours, so keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, I just wouldn't be the biggest fan if he was defeated in this episode. I'd just like them to introduce him, do some stuff with Caitlin, and then leave it open for whatever wants to happen in the back half of this season. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this trailer. What was your favorite part? What are you looking forward to the most? And yeah, just let me know your general opinions in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.